When you are working in a spreadsheet in Excel, do you get tired of entering the same few options manually every single time, row after row after row? Let me show you how to speed up your process with drop-downs in Excel. My name is Allison Gonzalez. I'm a Microsoft Certified Trainer, and let's dive right on into Excel and show you how you can speed up your process. So here in Excel, I have an order form, right? And so as I'm going through, I'm just tracking information. I'm tracking, all right, here's a customer. And let's say, put in as Allison, right? And Allison is located in Florida. And she bought a coffee maker. Not too bad if you have to enter that one time. But I'll imagine that you have to go over row after row. You're keeping track of this information, or right, insert your info here, what you're working with, and having to type in over and over and over again. Well, what I would do is I want to speed this up and be able to just have the options right here on the form available to click from. Now, why do I want that? One, speed, right? It's going to make my process a lot easier. I don't have to type this out every single time. I can just pick from an option that's already available for me. The other thing, right, is accuracy, because I want to make sure that and I know myself, that this is getting spelled right every time. And probably if I'm going to be writing it, I might spell things differently, maybe abbreviate some things, spell some things fully out, capitalize some things, not capitalize some stuff. And that, of course, is going to make us run into some problems down the line, right? If I take this order form, maybe pull it into Power BI, I want to do some visuals, do some charts off of this data, well, I'm going to have to do some extra work to clean this up if I've spelled things differently, if I have different capitalizations. So I want to make sure I have nice, clean, uniform, easy to work with data here in Excel. Now, the process of setting up a drop-down list is super simple. Well, it is almost a little bit hidden. It doesn't explicitly say, make a drop down right here, but it is pretty easy to do once you know where to look. So I have two kind of options, right, for where I could have drop downs. For my state right now, right, I could have the abbreviations of all of the states. The very first thing that you are going to do is you're going to select the area that you want your drop down to be located. I want this dropdown available on every single row here in this table. So I'm selecting all of those rows. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is go to your data ribbon. And in your data ribbon, in your data tools section, there is a data validation button. Now, you can either click right on that data validation button, you can click the dropdown, see data validation right here. Same thing, you can click it in either of those places, and you're going to see a new window come up. Now, this window will show you, hey, what is the data that is allowed to be in these cells? And I can click the drop down that says any value, and I can change that. And I've got lots of options, right? Right now, it's set to any value. So I can have text, I can have numbers, I can have this, that, anything is totally fine at the moment. And that's the default state of any of these cells here in Excel. But we can adjust that. And hidden amongst, right, your whole number, your decimal number, your date, all that good stuff is list. And this is what we are going for. Now, when I select list, I then can pick a source. And for my source, I need to give it all of the options that are going to be in my dropdown. Now, you have two methods to do this, and I will show you both of them, because sometimes one is going to work easier than the other, just depending on the amount of options that you have available and the setup of your spreadsheet. First option is you can enter all of the values manually one by one right here in your source dropdown. So, for example, if I am only in two different states, let's say I'm in Florida and I'm in Georgia, I can just enter both of those states, separate those with a comma, just keep adding options and commas between them for as many as you have, and that's great. Right now, all of the options for my dropdown are stored right here in my source. This is a great option to do this when you only have a few things that are going to show up in that source. All I need to do now is hit OK. And let's check this out. I now, on this first row, right, can click the drop down. There's my 2 options, right? Florida, Georgia. I can go through, I can click on any cell that is in the column that I selected. And there we go. I can choose from those available options. Now let's say we expand. No longer are we only selling in Florida and Georgia. We're now selling in the 50 states. So what I want to do instead is change the setting. I want to change my source from the 2 values that I manually entered because I don't want to go back into this form. Remember, go back to your data validation. I can keep updating this as much as I would like, but I don't want to have to type out every single state because I know I'm probably going to forget some. I want to make sure they're in alphabetic order. So this is what is the more ideal option to do instead. What I'm able to do is have that data, all of the data that I want to show up in my dropdown somewhere else on my spreadsheet. I can have that in a separate sheet like I have over here. I can then hide that sheet. I can have it on the same one that my form is on and then just hide those columns, just have it off to the side somewhere where no one's going to mess with it. Generally, I prefer to have it in its own sheet just so it's out of the way, easy to reference. Another thing that I would highly suggest here, instead of a nice range of data, make this a table. I have a video on this, I will link it below, on benefits of using a table versus a range. And you can go watch that video so you can talk about that topic a lot more in depth. But to make this range, this selection of cells, a table, all I need to do is select, make sure I have all of these states selected. And I'm gonna do a Control T, so Control key and the letter T, to make this a table. You can also go to your insert ribbon and click on table to do the same thing. Verify if you have a header. Right now I do, right? States is my header, so I'm gonna hit OK. Now that this is set as a table, right? This is my source. I want all of these values to show up when I am clicking the drop down on my order form. So we're gonna select the area where we set up this dropdown for to begin with. We're going to go back up to our data ribbon, to that data validation button, and then we're going to replace where we have Florida and Georgia as our source. And we're going to say, hey, go over to states and grab that table. And we're going to go ahead and select OK. And now let's check this dropdown. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we've updated this. So instead of just showing those 2 options, we've now got everything in here, which is gonna make it a lot easier. We know everyone's going to have the same exact capitalization for these. They're gonna make sure they have the right abbreviation for the state that they're going for. They don't accidentally start putting in a different amount. They're gonna have just this state. Now this is working out well. Let's go and set this dropdown up for the products as well. And I'm going to show you a few other features when you are looking at creating a dropdown, some other options you may want to consider adding in. For our products, I do not want to have to manually type out every single product every single time. So I have all of my products listed here in a list. Again, I am going to make this a table with that Control T and hit OK. And you can see I've got a wide variety of coffee-related products here, from beans to makers to scales to even those fun little stencils you can use on the top to make kind of art. I'm going to use this table as the source for this last column on my product table. So again, going to get some extra practice here, select that range, that area where you want your drop down. On your data ribbon, go to that data validation button. We know we want to, on our settings, change this from any value to the list, and then change the source to everything here on products. Now, before we close out of this, let's check out the other tabs that we have here on data validation. I am able to set an input message. Now, this input message shows when the cell is selected. When a cell is selected, this is what we would like to see. So I'm going to say, click the drop down to select the product. Our next thing that we can put in is an error alert. With the error alert, it says show error alert after invalid data is entered. When user enters invalid data, show the error alert. We've got some options, and I am going to put my error message as use the drop-down to pick an option. Let's go ahead, hit OK, see how these two input message and error alert options pop up, as well as make sure that our product list pulls through for our dropdown. So I'm going to hit OK. And now we can see here's that prompt. Here's that first message that we put in. Click the dropdown to select the product. And there we go. We've got all of those products pulling through from that product list. Now, let's say I just want to type in something. So I'm going to say coffee. As I type in, you can see all of the coffee related things from my dropdown option are now showing really nice and intuitively for me. But let's say I go off script and I'm like, you know what? They got coffee stuff. And I try to save that, it will not allow that. Hopefully you're all like, yes, this is amazing. No more rogue entries happening in here. We can see that I have that stop message, that alert that's saying, hey, use the drop down to pick an option. And that is that exact message that I typed in. So you have full control over what you want this alert to say, to make sure it's lingo that is appropriate for your organization and makes sense for the people that are using this. Now, of course, I can go to retry and go back in, and you know what? I'm gonna say they got a drip coffee maker and call it a day. If you like this Excel tip and found it helpful, I've got some extra learning for you. First off, over on our on-demand learning platform, we have a ton of Excel classes. One you might find specifically helpful is our Microsoft Excel Fundamentals. That is a fantastic class. It gives you lots of amazing tips just like this one, and I will have that linked below for you. You can also use code prag.work/Allison40 to get 40% off your on-demand learning membership. Now, the free is more your speed. Over here on our YouTube channel, I did a Learn with the Nerds, one of our awesome, great long-form YouTube learnings on Excel Beginner to Pro, and I will also have that linked below for you. So what are you struggling with in Excel? Let me know in the comments below, and it just might become the next topic of my YouTube video here on our Pragmatic Works channel. So don't forget to like this one, and of course subscribe so you can see all of the content that we have available as soon as it comes out here on our channel.